Hey guys, it's Antusj, and we are back in Minecraft here in my tutorial world, and I thought I'd make a quick video here just because a few people have asked me while they're playing with me how to build some better walls and how to better detail them. So behind me you see kind of a standard wall that someone who doesn't play a lot or doesn't do a lot of detailing would probably make. It's mostly cobblestone and it has a small amount of detail by just adding the fences in. I actually made that last side a little too long. I meant to make these even. But whatever, we're going to go ahead and we're going to see how well we can detail this and turn this into an entirely better wall. So the first thing we're going to do is come over to this wall. We're going to swap out the cobblestone for regular stone because that makes a big difference, and a lot of people consider cobblestone to be like a noob block. I used to like it quite a bit, but I'm really trying to move away from using it as much. So these are the blocks we're going to be using. We're going to be using some logs, two different color fences, because the darker one might look like damaged fence. We'll use a little bit of cobble, of course. We'll use some stone there, and we're going to use some slabs, some torches and everything, and maybe some signs towards the end. So let's go ahead and get started here on the wall. Let me grab a couple of my blocks out from the chest here. I'm going to look back. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so I put a double of everything in here so I can just pull them out without opening the menu every single time. So we're going to start with just the wall itself. I am going to add a little fence line in, but, you know, the fence will be in the way from some of the blocks. So we're just going to punch out a few random spots. Looks good. Maybe up here. No. Yes. Maybe like two. That looks a little bit weird, but whatever, it'll work. Let's see. Yeah, so just punch out a couple. Try to be as random as possible when you're doing this. That's kind of what I try to do. But obviously there's a little bit of pattern in it, and that's okay because this is just an example that I'm making like right now as I play. So, you know, it's alright if it looks a little bit goofy because this is something you can always come back to and fix up later, or as you notice later on that something might not look right, then you can just walk over and fix it. Alright, so that looks good. Got a bunch of little holes popped in, and that is, you know, a spot for some detail. So let's use the stone brick first. Let's just try to put one of each in the holes here and see how that looks. And I'm trying to keep them, you know, in separate places so they're not in the same hole area. Let's do a little bit of cobble. I want to do the regular blocks before we do the mossy, because I don't know how much mossy I want to be in there. So that's looking good. Alright, let's do the mossy stone, because I'd rather have more stone bricks than cobble. I'm sorry if you can hear that. My neighbor's dogs are barking really loud in the back. So we'll add a little cracked in here. Like I said, we're just going to try to put like one of each block somewhere in the holes that we made. Obviously, you don't have to use this much material. It's just what I had picked out as an example, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. So let's use a little bit of the mossy. Fill in a couple more of these holes. And it looks like we have one more hole in each one. Let's just do a cobble, because that'll break it up from the stone a little bit better. Let's take a step back and take a look, and I mean, it already looks maybe slightly better. I don't know. At this stage, it just kind of looks whatever, to be honest. Fences. I'm gonna need an axe. Oh, did I really just clear my inventory? Yeah, I picked the fences up and then I hit clear inventory on accident, or clear hotbar. So let me grab those back. An oak and a spruce. So let's just throw up the fence. We're gonna do like what I did over there. We just throw the fence up first. Break that. Just get all the fence. I do apologize if this video is a little long and boring and slow. This is kind of my first attempt at I don't know, building something with you guys while talking along. It's kind of hard to like focus on both things at once. Usually my videos are kind of a different style, and I'm usually just like relaying the information afterwards. So there we go, we have those on, and What I want to do is break a couple of them and put some spruce in, because spruce matches better with that bark on the oak, and it also kind of looks like maybe they're a little more rotted or water damaged or something. So we're just going to pop a couple of them out randomly, trying to be as random as possible. Let's do the last one here. Maybe one on the top. Yeah. So that looks alright. It doesn't look too, in my opinion, it looks a little bit weird right now, because you're kind of like, what? But I've found that, like, I guess if you give it a story, it makes it just sounds a little bit better, you know? So some of that's rotted. We're going to do we're just going to straight up break a couple pieces off like they rotted and broke off entirely. Maybe one, just one from each section, I guess. Yeah, did I do one in both of those? Yeah, so maybe let's break off like one. And then, like I said, this is just an example. If I was building this in my world, I would try to take a little more time. But I don't want this video to be like overly long. So we need to figure out what we're going to do at the top as well, because a lot of people, I think, when they made the first cobblestone wall, would probably just leave it like that, and I don't want to just leave it like that. But let's shave off a little bit of bark randomly, and then that'll actually kind of blend with the regular fence a little bit more. I would try to do this as sparingly as possible, and maybe not put one right in the middle of the post, because that one really bothers me, but I'm just going to leave it. Let's do a little more. Try to put a little bit on each one, maybe. I think I might be a little over detailing it with this, like maybe every couple or something I would break some pieces off, if, you know, depending on the length of the fence. Now those look a little too pillared up, so let's kind of, I guess that breaks it up a little bit better. It's hard to not make a pattern, even when you, or to try to be random, because even when you try to be random, you still end up with a pattern. So now we're done with that. Let's grab some of these slabs. I kind of have a couple of ideas for the top. Alright. Oop. I needed some logs. For some reason, I thought if I hit it with the axe, I was just going to get it. Take that oak. So I'm going to extend these pillars up by one, I think. That way there's not like a floating slab on top. This will kind of connect to the slab. And we'll just see how it looks. So that's looking alright. Now, we're going to try to make 3 separate tops. So in the end, it might look a little bit weird across the top, because we're going to count these 3 sections as like 3 separate fences, like what you would do for the top. So shaved a little bit more wood off there. That's looking good. Let's try smooth stone slabs across this one. Alright, that looks okay. I don't really like it. I think it's a little too much gray. Let's do some oak across this one and across this one. Oh. Let me just... There. So we'll do some oak across those. The reason I have the spruce, again, is damaged wood. So maybe pop a couple off, and it looks like this is either wet or rotted. Because, you know, again, we don't really know. I don't know your backstory. I find that if you make some kind of little backstory for it, it kind of makes it a little more interesting. So we don't really know how long this has been here. So it might be rotting away a little bit. So I think it's starting to come together. It's starting to look pretty good. Let's clear this out. Now I have an idea with the signs. And then obviously we need some lighting. I feel like you need some lighting across the top. I want you to be able to walk across this. That's why I kind of put the slabs so you wouldn't just directly fall off, I guess. So maybe you have torches, or you might use lanterns. I think the lanterns look a lot better than the torches, that's for sure. But yeah, that looks alright. And then I was thinking for the signs, maybe as like a little bit of a railing. Again, oh, I missed that one. Yeah. So again, we're going to try to do, like, a couple of them are damaged. We're only going to do it on this one spot. So like a little bit of them are rotted away again. You know, so that looks okay. It doesn't look as good as I hoped it would. I think I honestly would probably use the top of the middle, piece. So I forgot to get out some leaves. So I just grabbed those real quick. I grabbed some oak and some dark oak. They look like they're like the same color. I thought they were gonna be different. Let me look. I know. Let's go with birch. Birch is darker. So I'm going to use 2 different shades. This is actually something I haven't even done before until like this video, was to use different colors of bushes to kind of break up even the bush color. So we're going to throw some of this around kind of randomly, kind of whatever. You might have some pieces that are a little taller. You might put it up a little taller against like the wood there. Let's just throw around some birch real quick. And then we'll try to mix in a little bit. Let's mix up these colors just a bit. So it's not too much detail. It's just a little bit of bush. I mean, obviously you could bone meal too and just put grass, but I really hate the grass blocks. Like, I always chop all the grass down in my area. So I would rather just use these little bushes. So that's looking pretty good. That's nice and detailed. Maybe we'll throw some vines on. Now, I wouldn't use the vines unless you want vines all over it, or if no one's going to be walking by it, because I'm going to put some string here to make sure the vines don't spread. And you know, that's a little tip in case you didn't know. You could just put like a string on there, and then that way it's something invisible. But another player might be just running and swinging and stuff, and they might come over, pop that, and the next thing you know, it's growing everywhere. But I do like using the vines, especially like coming off the bushes, because it looks a little more natural, I think. Put that there. So it's really coming together, in my opinion. Maybe one more. Put a little string on there, string on there. That's looking good. So, in my opinion, I think it's a lot. Like, a lot of extra detailing. But, you know, after watching so many people, like, on Java and stuff, I realized that a lot of PC players and stuff, they really detail like this. And, you know, I wanted to start getting away from such simple builds. So I think this actually looks pretty good. Obviously, if it was a longer fence, you know, it'd look a little bit better, and maybe a few spots I would fix up here and there if this wasn't like a 15-minute video that I was just trying to make real quick. So I do think it looks a lot better than the other one. Hopefully that helped you guys out. Hopefully that gave you a little inspiration to maybe add some detail to your builds. I think a lot of people that have followed my channel or have played Minecraft with me know that usually whenever I'm like in a world and stuff, I run behind people and like rebuild their houses and stuff and break up the colors, and even that I wasn't doing the absolute best job. So I think that this actually looks really good. So if you found this useful, if it inspired you, leave me a thumbs up. If you want to comment down below and give me some of your ideas, I would gladly take them. If you want to share some pictures with me, I got links in my description. And subscribe. I'll have more Minecraft content coming out, stuff kind of like this. I'm trying to get back into the game, so I'm just kind of making these smaller videos that are a bit easier on me that I can put out to you guys a little more often to give you more content. And honestly, I enjoy doing it. So I'll see you guys in the next video.